Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Octave11. My name's Jojo, and today we will be chatting to Lama France, who is an incredible woman who's had lots of teachings around tarot, Tarosophia, the seven rays, the angelic realms, lots and lots of info to share. So, yeah, I'd like to just introduce you, Lama, and maybe even explain to people how your name Lama came about, like where you've earned that from too, because we know you're not an actual Lama. But welcome to the show. Good to see your face.
Hello. Good to see your face as well. I'd love to give you a kiss and a cuddle, my darling.
Soon.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me on Octave11. And I'm very, very excited to talk with you because we've known each other for a while and we studied together. So it's fantastic to be again together, even online, far away. Oh, not that far away, 10 minutes away. So, yes, my name is Lama France. Je suis française. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
And this name was given to me by my spiritual teacher, a lady called Ananda Tarashan. And the day she gave me this name, I was a little bit concerned because Lama referred to a monk in Tibetan Buddhism. And I went, well, I'm not a man, grumpying around and so on. And she burst laughing and she said, oh, you'll have to deal with that one, Lama. And she said, because I am here when I name you Lama France is because I'm picking on your past incarnations. And you've been doing that quite a fair bit in Tibet. Look at your face. Oh, yeah, okay. She thought I was looking very Tibetan.
Yes.
Yes. And I said, no, je suis française. No, yeah, okay, past incarnations. And she said, and France is for your connection with France, which you have for many, many incarnations as well. And you are supporting energetically your nation, this nation you were born in. But remember, we reincarnate again and again for millions of times or thousands, hundreds or whatever. And she says, you reincarnate everywhere in the world. So eventually you become a citizen of the world. When you have overcome all this nationalism and so on, she says.
All the definitions and boundaries, like, planetary energies, yep.
But she says for this lifetime, it's good for you to connect with your past incarnations as a Lama and the knowledge you acquired and the wisdom you acquired working up in the Himalayas. So I said, well, thank you. I'll try to work out that. But if I'm talking to a Tibetan Buddhist, they will not accept me. She said, I don't want to hear that. So you had those past incarnations as a male monk, Tibetan monk, and deal with that. And she burst laughing. She thought that was very funny. Yeah, no, I didn't find that funny, but never mind. Nobody tries to, up to now, when I introduce me as Lama France, they just have a few seconds of silence, but nobody's been trying to confront me with that one.
Well, that little bit of masculine Tibetan energy might help you deal with whatever that comes towards you with that.
Indeed, and with the teaching. Those lamas, they were also teachers as well as monks and praying. They were also sharing their wisdom with others and their love and their compassion. So that's what she wanted to draw out of me. So I'm not too, down to earth and fifth ray, meaning my mind, I think only. No, you're not only thinking. You're also feeling, you sense, and you are intuiting. That's my word.
Well, we both understand that Gemini energy, don't we, of trying to get a good combo between here and here.
Definitely. Constantly reestablishing the balance because it's hard. We have tendency to go up there, for sure. That's okay. And we need it. Huh? It's not a bad thing. We need that too, if it's balanced. Yes, thank you for allowing me to explain myself and to introduce myself.
You're so welcome. So Tarosophia, tell us a little bit about Tarosophia and what you've been teaching many people over the years, Lama.
Yes, that's it. It's a form. It's a global form of tarot because we put tarot in a little drawer, and I have a tendency to say, "Oh no, that belongs to this sort of tradition of blah 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 blah," and I say, "No, no, hang on. The tarot and symbolism, imagery belongs to the world, to humanity, to anyone who can perceive symbolism, and that means a human being." Because we have consciousness and we can perceive. Look at our world today, Jojo. We are surrounded by symbols, and we ignore it totally. I mean, the signs on the road, everything. Those signs on the road, you recognize them everywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You drive, they are the same.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So obviously, symbolism is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the letters, alphabet. What do you think it is?
Symbols. Yeah.
Yeah, symbols and numbers as well.
As you say, though, I think it's important to highlight that a lot of people don't actually recognise how our world is helped be created by the symbols that we are taking in constantly, whether we're aware of it or not. As a lot of them just go in under the radar, but they go in still.
Yes, and the same, the cars. Look at the brands of the cars. You don't even need to read their name. You look the symbol and you know exactly if it's a Toyota,
Tesla,
or a Tesla. Oh, Tesla.
We love Tesla.
Yes, of course. So here we go. You see what I mean? We are surrounded by symbolism. We created it. It's a mode of communication. And I believe that it belongs to the world, not only to a certain tradition, as we put things in drawers. That's our lower mind doing that, our very rational and so on, needs to organize and put everything in order. So, no, sorry.
So do you think the tarot has been put in the occult drawer for a long time, so that's why a lot of people are afraid of it or are feared of it, rather than just looking at it as a set of symbols that we can actually access our own selves and our soul's journey?
Exactly. That's exactly what is happening, and it's a pity because it helps people. And what I find that it adds, because I'm also a counselor and psychotherapist beside being a tarot reader and a healer, is that it adds to our world the spiritual dimension. Symbolism taps into the spiritual realm through intuition. So I think it's very important that we start being involved in that search for meaning through the images of the tarot, because we are going to discover a lot about ourselves, and we will not need to feel that we are weird or crazy or put some, those little
tinfoil hats.
Yeah, I am an autistic child. I am an ADHD. Get down. Just offer people the opportunity to discover what they are and who they are. Then we have less moment of unbalance, because we can search, we can find out where is our imbalance. We don't need to talk to people. We can work with the images. The images of the tarot are beautiful. Yeah, look at the card I picked for today.
The yellow brick road.
The sun. The sun.
Beautiful.
The sun.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Of course, they tell us exactly what's going on in ourselves and around us.
So Tarosophia specifically is the wisdom of the tarot. Rather than just the tarot, you're looking at the whole package of what we can use it for and what it's about. So let's dive into some tarot.
Yes, it's from my perspective, from what I've researched and I discovered, I think it's an addition to psychology. You see, psychology means in Greek, I think it's in Greek, yes, psyche, the soul, or in Latin, I can't remember which one, psyche, the soul, and logia, science, the science of the soul. But what do we do in psychology? Do we pay attention to soul?
Mm.
No. Mind
Unfortunately, no.
Mind and body, and we ignore totally soul. So I think this is adding the imagery of the tarot. We find what I call a new form of psychology, which I call the Aquarian psychology. We add mind, body, soul, and we got it.
For the greater good.
For the greater good, because people will not feel that they are weird or have problems and so on. They'll say, oh, I need to look at what's my soul journey so I can understand why I react or respond or do or think that way. And then they'll calm down. There is no disease of the mind. There is just a misunderstanding of the mind. We don't understand what we are and who we are yet.
Yes, we
haven't
yes.
got the big picture, you know.
We are gods with amnesia.
Oh yes, definitely.
But we are remembering slowly but surely, and we're being forced. We're getting a little fast track now after sitting in isolation for over a year to sit with ourselves and to understand that there's many more layers than just going out and going off to work and going shopping and doing all that external busyness.
That's the push. Definitely.
It's exciting. I'm excited by it.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited about what's happening. I know some people are losing their balance and feel very depressed and so on. If they had Tarosophia, no problem. But look what the card I picked when I talk about people unbalanced.
The death card.
No.
The devil.
The devil. Meaning fear.
And people need to choose. That's what we're at now. Love or fear. Love or fear.
Yes. Love or fear. We need to overcome that one, and we put ourselves in that direction. We want that because we want a change, of course. Now we know everyone wants change, even if people say, I want things like it was before. No, you don't.
That wasn't normal.
It was not normal, and as it is now, it is not normal either. So let's move into reality. I have a lovely mantra I read at the moment, and I even put it on my desktop, you know, the image on my desktop, so each time I open my laptop I can read it. It says, let reality govern my every thought and truth be the master of my life.
And understand really now that we are co-creating an incredible new earth to share.
New world, new earth, exactly.
And that Earth herself is evolving also. So it's just an all-round push for this move to evolve.
Indeed. It's because, actually, if you want my opinion, it's because the Earth is evolving that we have to catch up with the planet. Otherwise, we won't make it here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we'll resonate out if we don't keep shifting up our frequency with the planet as it evolves.
Yes. And we reincarnate in planetary beings which are resonating where we are or whatever. But there is it's no punishment. It's just the way the universe is functioning. No problem to balance things out. And we don't even remember anyway. So, but I think the amnesia is a good thing in some way, because we need to learn to become self-conscious and also soul and spirit conscious. Then this journey, we add it to the massive universe there, and we become a creator, a conscious creator, because we are already creator. We are like that. We incarnate. As soon as we become a human being, we are creators. Then, of course, we can play right or not. It doesn't matter. I don't want to put any polarity in that one. We create and we learn from our experience. I call it experience, not right or good, experience.
Yes, perfect.
And it's very good to think like that way. So every day is not boring at all. I don't find every day boring at all. I'm learning so much at the moment.
Well, I think that's the gift, isn't it? To sit with yourself, and the more you start understanding that sitting on your own is access to a whole internal universe, which is an incredible place to access and remember, the parts of ourselves that we have forgotten and that that make us feel fear and put us into states of depression. It's all disconnection from that incredible internal universe. Yeah.
It's more disconnection than forgotten. We are disconnected. We haven't forgotten. Of course, we are disconnected, and it happens when we incarnate, when we become densified, you know.
Well, also, you know, the systems that have been built up around us have perpetuated that disconnection also,
Exactly.
push that disconnection, so we're more easily controlled and do what we're told.
Yeah, at the moment it's big. So I'm a bit of a fighter, you know, so, oh gosh, I react each time. And I said to myself, come on, calm down, LF, no problem. It's just a scenario, it's not going to last. Whew. And I breathe through. Because when I was, you know, younger, that's what I was doing. I was going straight into the street and telling people to PO and, you know, no, anymore. Oops.
I love your feisty.
Don't do that anymore. Found another way to do it. Meaning I use ideas. Ideas are very creative. And they change the world. It's amazing.
Yes.
So that's why I created this Tarosophia, the wisdom of the tarot, so everyone can use these lovely images and learn about themselves and about their surroundings and the choices they make and everything. We need to use this tool. That's one of the tools. Besides also meditation, of course, I'm quite focused on that as well. Meditation, playing with images. You know, a child can play with images. All right? You
Absolutely.
know that one already told you. So if a child can play with images, we can all play with images. Meaning no excuse.
Play is not just for children. So there's many different tarot decks, Lama, but you have for a long time, and you have used the Inner Child deck for a long time. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that deck and why you've stuck with that one.
Yes, I had not many tarot decks. My first one was fairly early in time, in my mid-20s. I got the Tarot de Marseille.
We have that one here too. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And that was my first pack, my first deck. And I loved it as well. I resonated with that. And then about 25 years ago, I fell upon, you know, the inner child cards. And because I was also studying psychology and, you know, I was studying at the Cairn Miller Institute in Camberwell in Melbourne. I did 2.5 years there on about counselling and psychotherapy. I started to study more about Carl Jung, Dr. Carl Jung, and he worked very well with archetypes. And I went, oh, thank God, this guy, finally, he brings the tarot out of the shadow, you know, and start to show us that all these images are archetypes of human behaviors, attitude, physical body, senses, everything.
As is astrology, which we're so, it's all archetypes, stories and myths. Well,
stories and
myths.
Yes, and I met in a child card, and of course this Isha Lerner and Isha and Mark Lerner, they created it together. It was a couple, and they at the beginning they said they also did that with their children. They worked the whole family to recreate this pack and to include myth and legends and fairy tales. And I went, perfect, because what do you think they are, those myths and legends and fairy tales? Human behaviors, attitude, way of thinking, feelings, senses,
all rolled into one, yes.
Actions.
Yes.
And we are feeding our children with that as well. Oh, hello. You know, when I talk, because I give readings to people from all around the world, you know, and when I talk to somebody from, for example, from Asia, and I said, oh, do you know I don't know, the fairy godmother, or do Beauty and the Beast, and they look at me a bit blank, of course, and I explain the story. Ah, yes, we do. In our,
I think it's
tradition.
shown again and again and again, isn't it? That things have crossed cultures already many, 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 many times. Stories, astrology, symbolism. Yeah, it's across all cultures across the planet. Yes.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
that means it's a language.
And it's very accessible then to everybody when you can access the same fairy tales.
Exactly. And
Yes.
they relate straight away to the story when you explain them. So yes, indeed, it's a universal language, symbols.
Could you show us a couple of the cards, Lama? Just if have you got them there, just to maybe have a little bit of a chat about some of them, and just show it so people can see how they do relate to the different fairy tales and archetypes.
So I go to the lovely card I picked this morning for our chit chat there, which is called the Yellow Brick Road. Yeah. And the Yellow Brick Road is a major arcana, and it is called the Sun in other packs of cards. And what is happening in this Yellow Brick Road? It's Dorothy going on a journey and taking what? The Tin Man, her heart.
The line, her courage.
Line, courage. Her brain, the Scarecrow.
Yes. Good things to travel with.
Isn't it? And going towards the Emerald City. And so it's a journey, it's a beautiful journey, and I think it's going to lead us towards the sun, so that means it has an impact on the whole picture. So we are doing the right thing there, because that's what I was saying to myself before we met, we connected. I said, it has to be for the good of all. We need to share things for the good of all. And people who are ready to pick, they pick. People who are not ready to pick, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people are ready. They're ready to be have access to things that they haven't had access to before, to help them through this incredibly difficult new emerging time that we're all going through. Yeah,
definitely. And of course, this one is run by the fifth ray. So we'll have to talk about those rays at some stage.
We will.
And the fifth ray is, of course, truth, knowledge, and science. So that means it's our rational mind and our logical mind functioning. 100% compassion, courage, knowledge, and intelligence, really. It's all the things together which makes a beautiful human being.
Well-rounded.
Yeah, it's the journey towards the sun. We have no doubt about that. I have no doubt. That's why I don't feel depressed. I know where we are going with this setup at the moment and what's going on.
And I really see the Emerald Castle as the heart chakra there.
Exactly. The
green.
You got it. It's the heart chakra. It's beautiful. And that's, again, our search for universality.
And creativity. You know, the sun is a lot about creativity and playful joy, childlike enthusiasm. Yeah.
Yeah, meaning using our ideas and so on to change the world. And here I picked another card, just at random as the 10 of Pentacles.
Oh, interesting. Nice.
10 of Crystals.
Fantastic.
So that means, yes, we're on the right track, really, because Pentacles is it going to have an impact on the everyday life? Yes, it is going to have an impact on everyday life. It's the image they have created is Christmas Day, when we open all our little presents and, oh my God, we're happy. We were full of expectation and something very nice happened. So here we are. We're on the right track. Yeah.
Pleasure, Lama. So maybe on that note, we could touch in a little bit on the 7 rays and what they're all about.
Yes, that's how I created the Tarosophia, is that I studied for quite some time the 7 rays and what we call Theosophy. I'm still involved in that. I'm a student of Theosophy, I call myself, because I don't know half of what's going on there. I just discover a little bit each time I research, so.
The more you know, the more you realise you don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
The ongoing search.
Oh, it's an ongoing, and that's what makes life so exciting and beautiful. We learn, and we learn to love as well, to appreciate, if you want to change the word, And the seven rays, well, it's the rainbow light. It's the light. Ah, by the way, it's the light of the sun.
Refracted in all its in all its different parts. Yeah.
All its different frequencies refracted upon the earth. And this has a big effect on us. Of course, the sunlight, it's life on a planet. There is no doubt that a sun or a star, because the sun is a star, is bringing life to all the planetary beings around, and nourishing and regenerating and constantly, helping those planetary beings to grow. So it is very important. So we are the seven rays. It's this amazing 7 frequencies of light, which are the sun light. And people say, oh, there are more rays. I say, yeah, there are more rays. But in our scheme of things on the planet, on Earth planet, 7 for the moment.
Well, as in there's many more chakras than the 7, but I think we're still collectively working to understand the 7 first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, there are many more chakras which we don't see in a physical body because they move into the etheric bodies, and the aura and so on. But that's not where we are at the moment in our development as an evolutionary process. So that means let's work with the 7 rays. We'll go further when we have a bit more handling of what's going on. And the planetary being is doing that as well, actually. It's responding. So to each ray there is a color, and to each color there is a quality. And that's human. We've done that. We definitely created, again, a mean of communication, a way to communicate. Well, what I like to see in the 7 rays is our connection to the universe. This universal and starlight connection. And that's beautiful to associate the reading, the tarot, the tarot, to all the cards, to these 7 rays, because those 7 rays are also human qualities. We are human, so we are going to put our little blueprint everywhere.
And they're also, wouldn't you say, Lama, there are planetary energies, like each ray would be potentially through its vibration related to each of the 7 planets?
Definitely.
Main planets in astrology?
We contain, like for example, in a human being, we are a major ray where we resonate during an incarnation, but we still have all the other rays as well. But one will be guiding us. Most of the time it's the soul, if we have a connection with our soul. Otherwise it's our personality which will guide us. And there is a ray for each aspect of a human being. So yes, the planetary beings as well. For example, Venus, it's 2nd ray. It's love. There is no doubt. Love and wisdom. And apparently it says that Venus is our older sister for the planet Earth. Which
be
is
nice if that's where we're headed towards, a little bit more Venus energy, Venusian energy on the planet.
Yes, and through the Venusian energy you got the beautiful Syrian energy. Sirius. Sirius is massive. It's a massive star system, and it has a big influence on our star system. And then this Syrian energy moves through Venus. Venus downsize the energy, and it goes through the Earth. It's a beautiful research to do that one as well.
So is that related to the throat chakra too, Lama?
It is related, actually. The Syrian energy is love and wisdom as well. It's a 2nd ray energy.
Because I'm just wondering, if that's the case, then it is about communication at this stage. So we can, talk through, share our stories more,
Yes.
share ourselves, our authenticity more, so we can all be help part of that collective understanding and evolution into the next bit. Because we've been fed so many lies, as we all know, on who we are and what we're doing here and what we're capable of as incredible humans. So yeah, I really feel at this stage that throat chakra energy is very, very important.
It is. It is important, and it will send the right communication if it's connected to heart and mind. I put heart here and mind here for a good reason.
Fantastic. You love a flip flop.
Yeah.
So Gemini.
Yes, definitely. Yes, so it's a lovely journey. And I managed to find out, I have a lovely board there with the major arcana of the tarot associated with the 7 rays. And because we got 22 major arcana, there is one, the Fool, who sits outside and who travels right through the 7 rays and all the arcana.
The observer. He's the observer of the whole story, isn't he?
It's our spirit, monadic spirit and so on, thirsty for knowledge and understanding and experience, and reincarnating and coming out, in and out constantly. And at some stage, when we'll have a better connection to our soul, we'll remember. You see? And we will not say, oh, it's just a story, reincarnation. No, we know. And when people say, how do you know? I just know. That means no more question, please. I know.
So back to the rays and the tarot. So you have come up with your own system to overlay the rays over the major arcana.
Yes.
And how have you come about that system? Like, how have you found different ones fit? Is it a does it run in what's the word, like a consecutive order, or you've just plucked and placed, or depending on the energies of each card, or how have you come about with putting a ray over each of the major arcana?
Yes, I found quite easily that those 3 times 7, 21 major cards are fitting very well on the 7 rays. First 7 on the top, the second 7, meaning from 8 to 14, the second 7th, and the third one from the 15 to 21. They all fit very nicely underneath, and they are discovered that they are definitely interconnected, but it's a multi-dimensional. We cannot perceive this board as just a 2-dimensional board, because otherwise we are not picking up on all the energy flowing through that. It's multidimensional, meaning there is a level which is going to cover all the psychological, mental, body, and there is another, the first 7 which cover the principle, what we are made of. We're all made of the same thing.
So it's a good reflection of what's going on now, isn't it? Really, of for years just being in that 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional of, and the more we learn and understand and share, we're moving into this 5D, so we can actually start to see and experience things differently. Absolutely. So as we see the bigger picture and the bigger mechanism of how everything fits in.
Yes, absolutely. That's perfect. And we become better communicator with the universe then, because it's the star light. So that means it is influenced by the rest of the universe, as all the star systems are, and they are all influencing each other and sending energy constantly. I mean, it is the universal, it's a being, if I call that, universal matrix or being. It's
and as above, so below, as that whole star system and the interactions of energies and vibration, the same thing that's happening here on the planet between all of us humans.
Yes, all of us humans, absolutely. That's why that's the contact, those 7 rays with the major arcana of the tarot and the minors as well. It's our connection. We suddenly connect the logical mind, You know, all the images, flat, 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 one by one, with the numbers and so on, with the, oh my God, it's not only a two-dimension. No, it's not.
Mm.
It's a universal dimension, meaning it's multi-dimensional. We have we've created lovely images. Some wise people did that, but they are still people. Sorry. I know some people say, oh my God, those masters of wisdom, they were human once, or perhaps not all of them. Somewhere they were beings, you know, once. So now they are, of course, principles and so on, but they were beings. And this has been created by what I call the seventh ray master, which is the Count of Saint Germain. So that's also a long story, so we won't go there.
I'd love to have a little chat actually about the Ascended Masters at some point, and what you can share with people and myself about the Ascended Masters and their roles and energies and why they're still important and relevant.
Yes, and how we can associate them with the cards as well, because that's my interest. We have to learn to use those images so we can make sense of who we are, where we are going, how we function, how we create our daily life as well, the choices we make and so on. That's what the cards are for. The same way as we feed the kids with fairy tales, we have to keep on living as an inner child because we need this multidimensional perception.
Well, I think unfortunately, you know, like in the advent of television and internet or whatever, that is one thing. I mean, they're still coming through, though they're in the ether, aren't they? But you know, we've missed sitting around a campfire, sharing stories and passing on the lessons through the stories.
Yes. That's what I was talking a few days ago. People were saying, yes, the elders should help. I said, the elders are nothing at the moment. They are just losing their brain. Sorry, dear. You know what happened? Why? Because of our lifestyle, because of all the way we think and feel and sense and everything. The food we eat, everything is there. You know what I mean? But yes, in the past, our elders were the holders of the wisdom. But we had a different lifestyle, sorry. Now, we can't consider the elders. I mean, I am one of the elders, and no, I can eat my chips still. My little, and go and watch TV and go silly on 2 hours or 3 hours of watching movies, you know. Yeah, okay. But I also nurture the inner side, meaning my growth, my spiritual growth, which is very important. And most of people don't do that. There is no balance. And I eat properly as well. I started growing a few veggies. And I need to talk to you about some herbs. I don't even know what they are, please.
Sure, I'll come visit soon. We can have a little wander.
So you can tell me, oh, this one is that. I'll write it down and what I can do with them, because I have new herbs growing and I have no idea what they are. Never mind. Sorry. It was...
we can do that, no worries. So I'm just going to check the time, Lama. I think that's been nearly an hour, so I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to say. Otherwise, then maybe we'll wind it up, but we'll get back together again soon and maybe talk some more if you're interested.
Indeed. No doubt about that. I'm very pleased to be able to do that. And as I said, I'd like to have you in because I'd like to exchange, to juggle those ideas together. It's for me, working as a group and working with others is the most important.
Absolutely. Well, if you feel like there's anyone else you'd like to bring into the chat too, and then we can put it out there to people if they're interested in listening as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Keep putting it out there. Yeah, I thought, anyway, we can talk about that later. But if there's anything you'd like to add in the end, just to cap off around the...
I want to thank you for having me with you there.
My pleasure.
11. And please, let's not forget our beautiful sun, because I think we are illuminating, putting some light on a lot of aspects of a human being which we ignore at the moment, and that will bring down the fear and the who am I and the sense of loss and so on.
Yeah.
So I think it's a beautiful image there, and we are. It's a good start. I think it's lovely. Huh?
It's a great start.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, darling. And we'll see you again soon.
Yay!
Yay! Oh, did she go? Still recording and meeting for all?